may have heard me say you should increase your authority. You may have heard me talk just one time about positioning yourself and being the expert in your space. It's pretty much the name of the show, my book, everything else. But my question for you is, what are you doing with all of the content? You've done the speaking, you have the successful company, you have a killer looking website, you have all these different things, but what are you doing to market it? Maybe something, maybe not. Maybe you're doing it, but not the way you should. That's why I'm excited to have Tamara Thompson on the show today, because she is the CEO of Increasing Your Authority. And we're going to be talking about how to increase your authority by repurposing the content that you already have. And what's special about the way she does it is it's all based on data driven. It's not just, let's cut this up for the heck of it. You know, I've seen people do that. I was joking with her before we got started, and she's doing it from a systematic, scientific, data-driven approach. So I'm going to bring her up, CEO of Broadcast Your Authority, Tamara Thompson.
Hey.
Every business needs a book, including yours. Visit freebusinessbookpublishingcourse.com today to learn the 7 steps to publish and promote your nonfiction lead and profit-generating business book in 8 weeks. Once again, that's freebusinessbookpublishingcourse.com. Here she is, ladies and gentlemen, Tamara Thompson. Tamara, how are you feeling today?
Doing great. Sunny Arizona over here. So thanks for having me, Mario. Appreciate you.
Yeah, you probably get some nice weather, and I'm excited for you to share because, like I was saying, there's so many people that just take stuff and put it out there, and I sometimes question, like, why did you put this on LinkedIn? Why is that video on Instagram? What are you doing with your TikTok? It's like some people are really succeeding, and others are just kind of there, I guess is a polite way of saying it. How have you found it to be so beneficial when you take this data-driven approach?
Yeah, so everything that we do is data driven, from the opportunity of actually working with our clients first by actually supplying them the types of content that people are actually searching for in their industry specifically. For YouTube first, that's also topics for their podcast title. But then we also see, like, in the back end of YouTube, what people are actually searching for on their channel, right? So you can do the same thing in the search bar for TikTok. You can actually see what types of keywords people are actually searching for and using hashtags and things like that. And so, like, an example, like one of our clients, one of his biggest videos that are searched on there is buying a business, right? So we know that buying a business on his YouTube is highly searched. A lot of his videos are taking off. How to buy a business, which is very similar keyword, or how to buy a laundromat, or how to buy XYZ. Like, we know that people are searching specific things. So we do reverse engineer and see if they're actually searching for those types of things on, like, TikTok, right? And so we saw a cadence go over on TikTok as well, that the TikTok videos that took off for him specifically were the videos that he did on buying a business. So it's being very intentional with what's being placed on different platforms and creating micro content from that full longer form video. If it's a YouTube video, if it's a podcast, or if it's just something you're repurposing, you know, from a keynote speech or a PowerPoint or a webinar, whatever that looks like always be intentional with how you place content, especially starting with YouTube. The same with your podcast, right? And so that's how we go to do that, right? So if someone says, like, I'm going to talk about, 5 ways to broadcast your authority with a podcast, but I'm going to share like 5 tips on how to broadcast your authority with a podcast, we're going to be intentional and take those 5 pieces and create micro content as well. So it actually makes sense to lead people back to the 5 tips. So then now you have 5 micro pieces of content, 5 TikTok videos, 5 reels, 5 YouTube shorts that can push back to watch that video that was 5 ways to broadcast your authority. So it's being very intentional, but also it's a great system when people are very focused and have clarity and have a very niched, product, service, or business. If you're just throwing spaghetti at a wall and you're just creating all this content, you're like pointing at stuff, dancing, like, I don't do dancing in my videos. Okay. You don't have to. People feel like they have to get on TikTok or Instagram Reels and they have to do these trends, and it really, you don't have to. You can hop on trends and use trending music. but you can actually use keywords and create your own content. And here's a quick tip right here. Why not leverage the music that's trending, but lower it so that it actually, you can pop up in trends, but you're not doing the little dance or jig, right? So just, you'll start getting traction and being trending and appear on the For You page, and there's a trick. Voila.
So you're telling me that
you know,
it will, I take it the music is another data point, just like the keyword would be. Oh, that's
yes,
cool.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, so we're
So
very
I have no
intentional. So,
problem dancing. I actually enjoy dancing. But if I'm talking
well,
to
I do too.
someone
I just
about,
don't do it in my videos.
yeah, I mean, I personally, it's like if you're coming to me for expert authority book publishing, what does me spinning around in a chair or anything have to do with you publishing a book for your business to increase leads and profit? Like, I couldn't wrap my head around that. But so it's like I need to be in I don't care about business mode to do this, but it's for the business channel. So
Mhm.
you're saying you can hook onto the music,
Trends, or
also the
even like
keywords.
the sounds and the keywords. Yeah. So just because people assume people are just watching TikTok for dancing videos and pet videos and,
And it's
pranks
the
and
same
all
stuff
the
people
stuff.
were saying about YouTube years ago. Oh, you're on
Exactly.
YouTube. What are you going to do? Watch cat videos? Ha 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 ha. And now there's
Yeah.
people. I remember going to an event where some of the smallest YouTubers that were there walking around you could talk to, like they
Mm-hmm.
had 100,000 subscribers. Like
Mm-hmm.
most of the people on, I think everyone on stage had 1 million or more.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
like if you were
There's,
to put those in a room, that's a lot of people.
yeah.
Like if they were
Yeah.
physically sitting in an audience, I want people don't realize this, but I would say 500 to 1,000 is a big audience or more. But the largest stadiums in the country, 22, 21, 23,000, 25, short of what is it, Wimbledon?
Mm-hmm.
Um, they have that on their channel. So for anyone that's thinking this might not be for me, what would you say that someone they don't want to do the dancing stuff, but they don't want to do YouTube, Insta, TikTok, any of this just because it's like, oh, that seems like what
Yeah.
the kids are doing.
Yeah, I've actually got that question quite a bit, and actually, in one of my keynote presentations, I always make a little joke about it. So it was like,
I love jokes.
you got like, it was basically like 2021, like, oh, TikTok's not for me. 2022 was like, oh, how do I get my business on TikTok? 2023 is here. Now I'm going to be left in the dust. Like if you don't literally get in there, you're going to be left in the dust. And people keep saying that. And this is just in a mindset perspective. People say, oh, well, my audience isn't on TikTok. Well, how do you know? Are you doing the research? Like, because the fact is that there are a lot of people that watch TikTok videos, even my mom and my relatives. It could be your sister, your grandmother. You could have like somebody's daughter watching it and say, hey mom, like you want to write a book, right? Hey, this guy helps with books, or authorities or whatever it is. You could do the same thing with like content marketing or podcasts. So a lot of podcasting clips are taking off and going viral because people enjoy podcasts, right? Like you can put your micro content for your podcast on there as a video, method, especially when you record video for your podcast. Why not leverage an area that you honestly don't know if your audience is on there until you try or you test it out or you do something, and just understand that people are utilizing it for business. They're giving helpful tips. They're doing quick tips. One of our clients, Anthony, he literally took off on TikTok. He had just under 200 subscribers, and he didn't know what in the world he was doing. He was like, I just don't know. I'm just posting stuff over there, right? He's got influence in his space. And he said, do you think you could help me grow my TikTok? I'm like, well, yes, definitely indeed. He already has some influence, so that was a bonus, right? But he had like 25,000 subscribers on his Instagram, right? And he started doing these videos, how-to videos in the hospitality space, because he's all about hotels, hospitality, tips and tricks and stuff like that. He had one how-to video that just like took off within the first 30 days, and it got 1.3 million views. And so we're like, oh, like let's do another one. I was like, make sure you record another one that's a how-to video, because we saw that his how-to one started taking off. He did another one that's very similar, 586,000 views in a matter of less than a week, right? And then I said, hey, do another one that was like how to find inexpensive hotels, whatever it is that he was like focused on for his audience. Like he started just creating more of that, and they were just very simple. He's got personality. He's got he stands out, but he got the content out there. Our team went in and put the content up there. But it also links back to his podcast as well. So there's different ways to do that. And in 60 days, he had over 40,000 subscribers on TikTok in less than 60 days. He just passed up his 25,000 followers on Instagram, right? And so like we always say like, well, the how-to videos do really well for you. So he started double downing on those and started creating more of that. And that basically his audience spoke of what they wanted to see more of. So it's like, pay attention to what's going on. But people started approaching him for brand deals, hotels, other people are just like, I see you on TikTok, these are professional people. You also have to understand that may be younger generations that are also in lead marketing roles or in companies. Like these people are on TikTok trying to see what's going on too. These people will actually work for, let's say Anthony wanted to get in front of these large hotel chains, these marketing directors are on TikTok, they're looking for different things. They're doing brand deals. You have TikTok business now for ads. One of our clients uses his channel for TikTok ads, and people are also leveraging that, and that he does stuff on, consulting for equity. He's very professional. He's an investor. We have another client, his content's taking off on TikTok because he also interviews influential people, and people like to see influential people. Doesn't matter which platform you're on, they're on TikTok as well.
Why do you
So
think they like to see influential people?
I think a lot of people they like to see and hear inspirational stories, or they want to feel like they're a part of an experience, or they want that lifestyle or in some form of another,
So
like there's inspirational, but also informational too. So a lot of our clients share information, educational podcasts, like how to do this, XYZ, teaching this. Like people are searching for those as well. And we'll pull those little quick tips that people are sharing on podcasts and repurpose that in under 60 seconds for something too. So things will just populate too. And a lot of people that will record, maybe with a nice studio, like with your backdrop, that's a poppy backdrop that could get great attention. I'm actually working on a new studio right now. So we moved into our new space, and I got a white wall with me right now, but for ideal purposes, your backdrop is great, right? So it could pop on TikTok.
I don't mind.
So
thank you.
Yeah, I like it. And your tie. I like how you change your tie out every time. I like the colors.
I do my best. Sometimes I'm putting it close, but I appreciate the.
But it's bright and vibrant too. Like you dress well. You have a great backdrop, and you've got poppy colors, right? So why not add poppy captions and emojis and sound effects in the color that matches your tie of that episode, right? It's gonna get some poppiness. Like yellows do great, purples do great. So why not do a TikTok video repurposed from this episode with you with the yellow poppy captions with emojis flying in with sound effects that's yellow and pink, because you got yellow and you got the hot pink tie today. So those things people see.
What sound effect would we add to the tie?
I don't know, maybe like a swoosh. Yes, you can get. Well, you
Nike coming after us, are you?
No, I would hope not. So but there's different things to think about, like because even when you're creating content, like our team utilizes a software that we purchase the rights to every sound effect, image, or B-roll that is utilized in any of our stuff. So nothing can come back on to us if somebody used something out of something. We're not going to be pulling images from Google. We're like, that's not where you pull B-roll and stuff for TikTok videos. And so,
that's what YouTube's for.
Yes, right. I know people stripping the content from there. So yeah, we like to cover our basis, and we like to do things intentionally and right. Like it's the way you operate business.
Doing it the way you are. And joking aside, I hope you guys know by now that I joke from time to time, like every episode. But seriously, don't use anything but royalty free. I address it with my authors all the time. The pictures in the book, videos.
Mhm.
There's tons of places you can get royalty free stuff. So I would say number one, don't do anything but royalty free. But number two, I would like to ask you, what are your thoughts on the whole? Since we're talking about repurposing, what about repurposed content? Where I see
Ah,
you take the
we do
clip
that all the
from the
time.
podcast, but now I always find it funny when someone has an Instagram reel, but it has the TikTok logo on it.
Oh, that's just lazy. So that's what I call it. I just call that lazy.
What if it's
So I
efficient?
if it's efficient, yeah, you could do it that way, but that's also meaning that somebody's probably doing it manually, right?
Do you
So
do you have to change the content ever, even if it's like we're doing the video on, let's say, book publishing? If
Mhm.
it's the same video, is it 100% the tame? What the heck? Is it 100% of the time the same video, just different platforms? What maybe you change the size or whatever, or do you ever have to change it? Say shoot this one this way and this one this way, even though they're very similar for the platforms, or can you really just go, okay, once we do it, LinkedIn, Instagram Reel, YouTube Short,
Mhm.
TikTok, Pinterest, whatever?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, normally like with our company, it really focuses on our packages. So if someone's like a specific like essential package, like this is what they get in this package, and then we up the frequency, the level, the creativity, the direction, the strategy for other packages. So like a basic package with our company or our essential package, we'll create that specific reel. So if we pull timestamps for the reel, TikTok, YouTube shorts, from the video, it will be dispersed the same, like maybe like the same three reels are pulled from the episode, but they will be created in different formats, right? So you've got the ones
So
that
you're
have
putting a
like
raw video, it sounds like, into them. You're not copying LinkedIn's to TikTok and TikTok's to Instagram. You're taking the same raw video, even though it is the same. And
into different
okay,
formats for it. So it might be cut, like it would be the same clip but cut into different formats. So it could be like, you know,
vertical
16 by
versus square.
9. Yeah, it could be 16 by 9 for LinkedIn. Then you got a square video over here on Facebook, and then you got vertical over here for TikTok. Of course, we switch it up where some of the clients like to have like the bars like a little bit thin with a logo and branding. Some people just like to have the face. So we cater to it to be, on brand
What do
based
you
on
think
what they
is the
want to do.
best? Because I've seen more and more people, one, be doing stuff with caption videos, but also it used to be always with the bars, and I'll shut up. But what do you
Yeah.
think is? I've been seeing a wider variety of all this stuff. Is it just be doing it? It doesn't matter, or is there one format and aesthetic that really does? You're gonna get more bang for your buck, so to speak.
So what's popular right now is formulating it with poppy captions without the bars on the vertical side of it. We tend
Oh, very
to,
cool.
on the vertical side of it, we will potentially put very thin bars, like not like the big bars that you saw in the square videos and the captions and the headlines and stuff, but we'll keep it so it's classy because it's on brand. But then it also, if it's like a repurposed Zoom video, and we know the quality of the Zoom video might not be so good, it's like in person's face, like really zoomed in, then we want to bring their face out just a little bit. So we're gonna add some like little bars up top and bottom.
So
Very
you're
thin line though, but
so
still have
you're
the poppy
finessing the
captions.
videos, aren't you?
Oh yeah. So our team's like always finessing, always having a call to action, always having some sort of either a logo or call to action at the end of the short so that it can be like watch the full video or watch the full episode or go to this website or whatever that's looking like. So we are intentional with how we place it, and we're always ever changing like what the content looks like across the different platforms,
I
right? So
I want
yeah.
the listeners to understand that, because you can appreciate it. I know with your background and mine. And I was gonna make a joke. I miss the days when we only had to deal with landscape 4K. Now it's much more complicated. But I want everyone to realize, if you're just taking the video and just going splat, It might not be an optimized video the same way I've said for decades, optimize the freaking photos on your website before you just took all this time to
Mm.
create the framework, do all this, or your book. You did all
Mm.
the hard part, and then it comes to the photos and you go,
Well, and it's
optimize them,
about,
crop them, enhance them, color correct them. Like, holy smokes.
yeah, no, it's good to put like an additional touch to it, right? So people can just cut stuff, throw it up, keep it raw, because people say, "Oh, it's
It looks
authentic,"
like they
right?
threw it up.
But yeah, literally. And then, but I mean, yeah, people are like, "Oh, it's just authentic." I'm like, well, you can do authentic with your smartphone if you want to. Do something like authentic with your smartphone. If you're doing something purpose from like a video or a podcast or something like that, like spice it up so it has some branding, it has some captions. If it's poppy, if it has emojis, if it has sound effects, if you like the bars, go for the bars. The bars actually still take off on YouTube Shorts. We've actually seen the ones with the bars still take off with Instagram Reels. It's about the content and the value that's in it
Okay.
as well. So,
So if you
and
want
it's being
caption,
intentional with the clips as
so
well. So if you're
having
just,
the captions on there required, but whether you want bars or not, or extra graphics or not, that's really more of a personal preference, is what I'm hearing.
yeah, I mean, I've seen people not on our style, but I've seen editors where they're just like throwing in like B-roll, sound effects, emojis, like left it, like it's like you don't even get through like a second of the video, and it's like, choo, 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 choo. And I'm like, you have just lost me. like I want to like see cool stuff, and I like to see things on brand, and I appreciate things. But what I've seen some of the styles on TikTok and the reels lately, that they're it's almost like they're overdoing
Right.
it as well. So it's like, yeah, of course, have like a cool, Giphy pop up or something, and stuff like that when you're talking about something in a sound effect that makes sense with the point that was just made, like is being intentional, even with the stuff that you place in there on those for the graphics and B-roll and stuff like that. Like, because yeah, I've seen reels where people is like, yeah, they're doing the sound effects and it's like pop,
Or the timing's off.
the
Like
timing is
it's like
way
a
off.
Godzilla movie.
Yes, yes. I feel like it'd just be like a voiceover, or
Look at that
what's the
airplane.
full, it'd be like a Foley artist back there, like with sound effects or something. I'm
Right.
like, yeah. So, yeah, so it's interesting to see. So I think it's being intentional, but also selecting the right clips to actually repurpose
Okay.
for it. And that's what our team does. Our copywriters go in and pull things too. You can have AI tools go in and do stuff, like Jasper or Chat GPT. We actually utilize some of those AI tools to actually help get our clients content ideas a lot faster, because they got title generators in those. And I'm like, oh, this is a lot faster than doing market research on this, but it's still missing certain
But
elements
at the
that
end of
that
the
you
day,
do.
if you're not covering all the bases, and I feel that's the seductive, elusive, like, oh, I use this tool. Oh, I use this tool. And people just argue about which tool. It's like, dude, or
There's
do that.
multiple
It's
tools.
like, that's part of it. You're missing call to actions on all of this. Or you did 3 videos, micro content, really, really phenomenal. But that's
Yeah,
it.
but where are you leading them to though? What's
Exactly.
yeah, like
There's no
it's like
call
what's
to
the purpose
action.
of the
3 of them
content?
look like short films. I see it with podcasts too. It's like you did these 10 episodes, phenomenal, but you didn't
Mm-hmm.
make an 11th. Like there's this. It's
Mm-hmm.
something I had in mind when I started the show. I'm like, I'm not doing crap content like
Mm-hmm.
others, let's say. Um, but I wanted the quality there, but I also wanted the quantity because, you know, 11 episodes is a good start, but I wouldn't say it's a show.
Well, when you on talk about quantity too, it's about like leveraging quantity, but also the frequency of posting. Like so with our clients, we have like these vamped up like premium packages that they're like posting content 3 times a day. There's 3 TikTok reels going, and I'm like, I bless my team. They do a great job. I really appreciate all of them. They're pumping out all these content. We have over 10 editors at this point, and
Wow.
it's great though to see, like, we work with hundreds of podcasters, which I'm super grateful for the opportunity to do so. And so, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
because a
if you
podcast
want to
episode, you do
up,
30 to 60-minute interview, you're going to
mm,
have. How? Let me ask you, how many episodes of content do you think you would have from a normal podcast interview?
it
Let
really
me ask
depends
it a
on the
different way.
length.
Uh, how many might repurp? How many micro-purposed pieces of content could you create from one normal episode, do you think?
Well, you could create as many as you'd like, but with our flow, like some of our premium clients, like we'll create at least a 14. So if it was going
Yeah.
out at
So
least
at least a dozen.
two, yeah. So if it was like, say, including weekends, so you had 7 days in the week and you had at least two per platform going out daily, even on the weekends. And then we also instruct them to record additional content that we provide the direction of the topics that are taking off in their industries too, to split up the content. So these are people that are they're already successful in their business. This is their like side, they're building their personal brands. They have a company that's running for them. And they basically are like, I have some time to do this and I don't mind creating some additional stuff with a cell phone or have my assistant record me or whatever. It's spliced in to create more content. So we have those 3 reels, TikTok videos going out a day that they don't always look the same as a podcast. And so like there's different ways to do it. It just, some people are at the point in their life though that they're like, well, I don't want to do anything. Like here's content. They just literally send us like 40 videos to repurpose and it's not even a podcast. Well, let's turn it into a podcast. We got these behind the scenes,
Right.
like trainings, old webinars, whatever that looks like. If it makes sense and it sounds valuable to create or repurpose into a podcast,
Yeah,
depending
if
on the
they're already a
content.
successful speaker, that footage from
Yeah.
stage, not
Yep.
only is that authority building, but that's just great footage. Most of the time, I
Exactly.
mean, I can't imagine anyone nowadays not recording it. And if they don't,
Mm-hmm.
because there's been very few, but I've asked people, they're like, oh, we don't have a videographer, and I can't wrap my head around that. I've either brought my own or just turn on a camera and put it on a tripod. And, if you're on a stage, you know you're not going to be running laps around the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 If you have valuable content, like an example, a client of ours, he has all these amazing trainings from live events that he's had, and he utilizes this source energy and basically leverages this 5,000-year-old Chinese like methodology and exercises and stuff, like creating energy for success. And he's got these amazing videos where he brings people up on the stage and he brings on multiple people. So it's pulling great micro content. It could definitely be repurposed into a podcast because he's sharing, he's educating, he's training. And he was like, he's like, this is golden. I was like, for future, you can do the same thing on Zoom in these conversations and walk these people through these things as well, and train them, to create better energy. And so it was interesting to see like what you can create from that, but get people excited to create some content when they have the time, right? Because these people are
Yeah.
very busy CEOs, or they're at the point where they like their time freedom, and they're like, I only want to work 4 hours a week. We've got those people as well. They're investors. They're doing other things, So it really, it's like where you're at in your business is where you should think about the content and be very focused on the kind of content that you're creating. And what is the main goal? What is the focus? What is the call to action? And always have that mapped out before even recording a content, And so that's really what we teach our clients. So.
It's so great that you are, because wanted to make a joke about. So you're telling me that all these platforms aren't just entertainment. You can actually find the keywords that work and everything.
I would like to say that, yes. I mean, it does work. They're trying to position it now that they're stating that, and I don't fully agree with it. They're trying to state that business TikToks must be pure entertainment at this point, which I disagree, because as a consumer and an entrepreneur and an investor, I know what I watch on TikTok. And it might be entertaining for people on certain things, but I am actually one of those people that go and consume business content on TikTok. And so just because people are saying it's going one way for a creation direction, it doesn't mean your audience actually enjoys watching that content, because we know what we like to listen to for podcasts. We know what we like to watch on YouTube. It's the same thing with TikTok. We all have our own flavors of taste of videos that we want to consume. And so when people just automatically start putting out these tips saying like, oh, well, 2023 is all about entertainment for TikTok. And it might be true based on how they push the algorithm, but people have to understand that, valuable content, educational content is still highly searched as well. So I think a mixture in between is
I
great
think
to
it always
have.
will be also because
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff that people were giving gruff over YouTube early on, and then
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, and then Twitter, basically all of them once they started, and then the platforms realized there's a lot of people, we can monetize this, and then, now a lot of them, especially YouTube, they're going, what can we do for you, content creator? I've heard of deals where people get their own show or movie because they were doing so much, they see that they're consistent. It's no different than the
Mm-hmm.
entertainment industry, and
It's
I want
true.
I want people to realize that too.
Yes.
When the whole should I be monetizing it or not?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think every single music artist, performer, dancer in the world does? They're getting paid to be on stage and entertain everyone.
Yeah, no, it's so true. I think that, yeah, no matter what people are saying, like what's working right now, like what's trending right now, we know what's trending today and tomorrow is going to change by Thursday.
Right.
Like you have to hop on these things. But again, the consumer, it's really about who's watching it, right? And so, yeah, overall, my whole thought is you're still going to get bumped up if people are searching for keywords. Like no matter what platform you're on, you've got an end game there. Like stay focused. Like what is your end game? What do
Yeah,
you
at
think
the
that
end of the
people
day, even
do your research?
when we started with web design decades ago, you got images, you got text, you got the code behind it, and you got the keywords. The internet,
Mm-hmm.
I loved when people were going, "Oh, you don't need a website anymore because of Facebook." Like a week after Facebook launched, like really, please sell me your course. When the creator goes, "I don't even know what it is yet," and you have another expert selling the course on what it is. It's like it's
Mm-hmm.
entertaining to say the least. I gotta ask you two-part question: one, yellow or black?
Yellow.
Okay. Where do you see all this going a decade from now? Is
Mm.
TikTok going to be around? Is Facebook, YouTube? Is there going to be some? What's the new site that's coming up? That's going to be the new trend next year?
Yeah, it's funny that you asked that. I have something like on the down low myself, but like I can't really announce it yet. But um, yeah, so I strongly believe there's going to be another platform that comes out that's going to try to compete with TikTok and things like that. And I think also the community platforms are going to become even more popular with things like Discord, is taking off, and
Yeah, the Discord servers.
Telegram, you got people over. I mean, even like well, not that WhatsApp's like a platform on that side, but you can actually have 512 people in a WhatsApp conversation if truly desired. But then you've got Telegram that can have over 200,000 people in a community. And I believe Discord's pretty much unlimited. So, like, you've got these people that are going to these platforms because they want to have more human connection and chats versus just watching entertainment. So, I think that's kind of what people are going towards, because post COVID, people were looking more to connect with people again. And then, even if we weren't always connecting in person, they started looking for more community. So, those platforms started to become more popular. But what's unique about actually utilizing those, instead of using something like a Facebook group, people are using things like Telegram and creating communities in Discord. And you can have that community share your content. You're sharing your podcast, you're sharing your YouTube shorts, you can share your podcast, you can share everything in the community base. And because it's a community thrived effort, more people are actually sharing and watching the content. So just drop your TikTok videos into these community-based efforts that actually allows to help more of an organic push that can actually help your videos go viral as well. So I think that's a lot of the social aspect. Like, yeah, we have these platforms that we've been known for, but a lot of people are hanging out other places. Like if they're not focusing on just entertainment, they're looking for chats or advice or groups or communities. Look at the Web3 community, like just came together, and all the NFT launches and all that stuff like that. I have an 888,000 NFT piece all created. I have a whole community over in Discord myself. Like this was a passion project that I had just had my team help create a year ago, or no, 18 months ago. I dove into the NFT space, and it's just about thinking a little bit differently on how you have to market things, right? So like I know that NFT specifically were being marketed on TikTok. Twitter Spaces are taking off. You can repurpose Twitter Spaces into audio podcasts and stuff like that.
With, the Twitter Spaces like you're talking about, because Clubhouse was all the rage. People launching books, people selling courses, all this. And then, Twitter's like, oh, check this out. And I remember the same thing for Meerkat and Periscope.
Yep.
And then Facebook was like, yeah, check this out. And like 3 months later, they must have been given, I would love to know what kind of bonuses they got that email to the whole company. All right, whoever can build this out the first, you're now second in command or whatever. But it's fascinating to see, and it's why I wanted to ask you that, because there's always this ebb and flow and different thoughts, but clearly you can be successful with it, and there's plenty of people that are doing it. So it's cool to get some of the insight from you, because I know, like we talked about, it's data driven. We're gonna thank the sponsor and come back for the imperfect action round. Every business needs a book, including yours. Visit freebusinessbookpublishingcourse.com today to learn the 7 steps to publish and promote your nonfiction lead and profit-generating business book in 8 weeks. Once again, that's freebusinessbookpublishingcourse.com. And we are back with the imperfect action round. Tamara, are you ready to take imperfect action?
I hope so. Well, I'm always ready. Go for it.
All right. Number 1, 60-second or less answers, 3 questions. 1, what's the fastest path to the cash?
Community.
Nice. 2, what's the biggest problem you see your prospects making and the fastest way for them to fix it?
Niche down.
Very good. Number 3.
Should I go with one word answers? I'm like, go.
You could go 1 word. You could add 2 more. I'm allowing up to 5-word answers.
Perfect.
So let's see what we get for the 3rd one on the next round of Jeopardy here. So 3, what's the best way to maximize customer lifetime value?
Retention. Yes. So our clientele is we're super grateful. We have a very high retention rate because we go above and beyond. We communicate and we respond within 24 hours, but we also go above and beyond and make introductions behind the scenes. Who can we introduce you to? Who can you give back to? And have that go-giver mentality. It really helps on that side to help build relationships and see how you can help serve people and help them. Because at that point, if they're struggling with something, ask how you can help, and it can move the mountains with your client relationship.
Yeah, that's a great point, because people, I think, have forgotten that businesses are built on people and relationships, not just, I deal with that company. Well, who's the company? It's comprised of people. So.
Well, I literally had an event. A lot of my clients went to this event last week in Vegas. They were like texting me over there. One of them texted me 3 times from the event, making me introductions from people at the event. I was not at the event. They kept asking me. I had like 4 or 5 clients text me from this great event. Wow. And there were 300 people there, and I wasn't there, but I was still getting,
how many people?
Leads through company. At the event itself.
Yeah.
There were 300 people at this event.
Okay.
And so I had, we probably about 12 clients at the event, and I had 5 of them literally texting me. One of them made 3 introductions, text messages like, hey, meet so and so. You should talk to her and her team on
Wow.
content marketing. Like it's the relationship factor. Like you build the relationship, you go above and beyond. And if I can help serve them, or if I can be a client of our own clients, I'm there. Like I literally just had our client today. I took a call and he's looking for more investors in his investment firm for medical offices. And I said, send me the deck. I was like, what's the minimum buy? And he says 100,000. I was like, send me the deck. Let's take a call on Thursday. So it's
Yeah.
like, how can I also help bring back business to them or
Yeah.
introduce
Reciprocate
people
it.
to them?
You don't want it to
Yeah,
be a one-way transaction. That's a good point.
exactly. Yeah.
What books have helped your business?
Well, one I just kind of mentioned, The Go Giver by my buddy Bob Berg.
I heard you
He's
say that.
awesome.
Yeah, he's
And
great.
then yeah, he's awesome. And so yeah, I bought his book for one of my last in-person events. I had hosted events for about 7 years, and I always bought my power partners books to share with my audience. So he's one of them. Sean, my buddy Sean Cannell, YouTube Secrets. He's a good friend of mine as well. And then also the book that really started my personal journey in entrepreneurship. A little bit out of my backstory. I read this book right after I sobered up. I have 12 years sober, but I live by the four
Congrats.
agreements. Thank you. The four agreements has really shifted my mindset. It was all about shifting the mindset first before actually building a company, because I had to be able to, one, be impeccable to my word, always do my best, don't take things personally, and don't make assumptions, because those last two people do daily. They make an
Oh,
assumption and they
all the
take
time.
something personally. So when you step back and you think about that, you're like, oh, am I taking that personally? They probably just having a bad day. Like don't make an assumption either. If you like read an email and you don't know how
You can
people
always
write,
just ask them.
you know, exactly.
I like to joke around, huh? If only there was a way we could find out from directly from the person standing in front of you or on the phone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um,
Yeah, it's communication.
yeah,
But that's the first book that really got me going, like just on my mindset piece, and those other ones kind of came
that's a
in with
huge recommendation,
marketing.
and congrats again.
Oh, thank you.
Where would you like to people to learn more?
Yeah, we if you go to broadcastyourauthority.com, you can learn more about our company and what we do. We've got a free resource down there, 7 ways to repurpose your podcast download gift for anybody that stops by the website. Feel free to connect with me over on Instagram or TikTok. So I'm Tamara Thompson official, because I guess officially Tamara Thompson was taken at the time. So somebody out there is impersonating me. How dare them? So yeah, Tamara Thompson official is a great way to find me on Instagram and TikTok. So
Well, thank you for everything you've shared. It was a lot of good information, and I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Expert Authority World, we have another great episode here today. I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.